Welcome, everybody, to another episode of We Talk Film. I'm your host, as always, Barry, joined as always by Clayton.
Hello,
How you doing, Clayton? Merry Christmas.
I am very merry today.
You are very merry.
Very merry, Barry.
It's a very berry Christmas.
What? Can we title that?
Oh my gosh,
that's the episode
title of the episode.
Where's
it's
my pen? I need to write
Christmas.
that down. It's
so
very...
welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas, because this should be out on Christmas Day if we've done everything right. Obviously,
Christmas
you and I
Eve.
will be Christmas Eve
Right?
for you. YouTube video side, Christmas Day.
Oh yeah.
You know, processing stuff.
I forget we do
to schedule. we do the two things. We do the two things.
Is there a schedule? I mean, our
Somewhat.
loyal listeners would have noticed that we skipped a week. We had a week off. We had a holiday break.
Yes, we had
so
a
to
holiday
speak.
break. Even
Yeah,
though I
we're
was
coming
so
in-
prepared to do that podcast, and then we're just like, no, we ain't doing it.
All right, but
I
I'll take the
literally
blame for
wrote a
that.
page of notes. I literally had a page of notes ready to go for that podcast.
It's fine. We'll reclaim it with this one.
Exactly.
Because guess what we're doing today, Barry? I bet you can't tell.
Today, no. I'm guessing it's something about like Halloween. It's Halloween themed episode, isn't
Oh,
it?
you're so close. This is our Easter episode. We're just recording it 6 months in
God damn
advance.
it. Exactly.
No, we're doing Christmas movies, Christmas films, Christmas in general.
Yay!
Everything Christmas related, I guess. This is just our Christmas special. It's like we're like the Simpsons, doing their Christmas special every year, but slightly better because
And we might only do this once. We'll see how things go.
yeah, we'll see. All right, we'll see how.
How many
we'll
Christmas
see
episodes
how-
do you think we could do?
One a year, hopefully.
What a
That's
year,
all.
hopefully. Okay.
Not doing more than
okay.
one. Oh god. All right, but before we get into our Christmas topics, I would like to skip over to the newsroom.
The news.
Oh, we don't have a Christmas themed news button. I was really hoping you'd have something.
Oh, okay.
Shame on you, Barry. Is that fireworks
Fireworks.
or gunshots? I'm sorry.
There you
All
go.
right, that's
there
good
you go.
enough.
That's your Christmas news.
Okay. All right. Our first story, and this is a story that happened a little while ago. No, that was the 19th of December. That wasn't that long ago. A couple days ago. Because we skipped a week, some of the news stories are a little bit older than we thought. Than we'd like. Because this first one is coming from Henry Cavill himself. His Warhammer 40k universe that he's helping produce, write, star, and a whole bunch of other random things is off the ground. They're working on it. Games Workshop have signed a full contract agreement with Amazon. And so the next stage can begin. They're going to make shows, movies, who God knows what with the 40k universe with Henry
Nice.
Cavill at the helm, which is a good sign because this is
Which
what
is a
The
good
Witcher
sign.
should have done.
Should have
So
done.
the one, yeah. So yeah, hopefully that turns out good because I'm really excited for anything 40k. Like a Space Marine show or something, that would be awesome. It would just go down really well, especially with Cavill, who's a big fan
Well, that's the
and
thing,
knows
because
all of the
isn't
source material.
there a new Space Marine game coming out like in the next year or something like that?
Yeah, I
Is
think it
Henry
was supposed
Cavill
to be
actually
next
in
year.
that?
No, that's Space Marine 2, the sequel to the whatever 2009 or whatever game, whatever year the first one came out. But Henry Cavill's not involved in that.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think that got
just the movie.
delayed. I think that was supposed to come out like this year or next, and I think it got delayed. But we're not We Talk Games. We don't know anything about video games. God.
Exactly. We talk film.
We talk film. And speaking of film, I'm never good with the segues on this news section. It's always speaking of film, and then I go to the next one. All right. Next topic. Yeah. Zack Snyder, who recently just put out a movie called Rebel Moon, which I haven't gotten around to watching yet. Apparently it's bad, like really bad. People hate
I watched
it.
a trailer and I don't like it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll give the movie a chance once, but that's all he gets.
Okay, all I can say at the moment for people who are going to watch Rebel Moon, I would very much wait until the R-rated version of it comes out next year.
Oh God.
from what I've been told.
Oh, so it's like
Yep.
Napoleon. Wait for the longer
It's like
version, I guess.
Napoleon. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, Zack Snyder, he he put out a statement saying that he would want to direct a Fortnite movie. Um, like I don't know who asked him that question. I think it was an
Well, he does
IGN
play
post.
Fortnite. He does play
He does,
Fortnite.
but
So
it's really weird.
he's a Mr.
How would
Meeksy's main.
how would that movie even work?
I
It
don't know. Well, that's
kind
the
of like
thing.
a
This
Hunger
because
Games thing.
you've gotten me into Fortnite this past week,
Yes.
and because of that, I've been playing it a lot. And even I'm surprised by what they've been able to pull off in this game. Like you got the battle royale, you got Lego mode now, you
That's
got
true.
racing in it, and then you got
Yeah.
Guitar Hero. They can pull off a movie. I mean, it'll be
Yeah, that's
interesting
true.
seeing Zach
It,
do it, but
yeah,
you can do a
it'd
movie.
be weird. It would take a lot of licensing to get that movie off the ground as
Yes,
well, because
yes.
you'd have to have every single character in it. It would need to be insane.
Yep.
Um, but yeah,
I mean, they're
sure.
doing a
I don't.
Minecraft movie, so
They've been trying to do a Minecraft movie for like 10 years now, Barry.
it's
I
happening.
don't.
It's happening. They
Is it?
start
It's been
filming early
happening
next
for
year.
10 years.
They start filming in January with Jason
Yeah.
Momoa as the main character.
I don't. Is he square enough? I don't know. Is it animated or live action?
I
That's
think it's
another
live
weird
action.
thing. That's how's that?
Yeah, it's weird.
What? I mean, because they had. Have you ever played Minecraft Story Mode, the Telltale game? I
No.
mean, it. There's a Telltale game, like a choose your own adventure Minecraft game, and that the storyline to that was kind of movie-ish. I mean, the game
Okay.
was pretty meh, but
Yep.
if they did something like that, I could see it
Yep.
working. But it would have to be animated. I don't see how live action Minecraft could work.
I mean,
It
apparently,
would be
like Pedro Pascal's in it. Matt Berry's in it.
everyone's. I'm so
Pedro
confused.
Pascal is reportedly playing Steve.
Wait, but isn't Jason Momoa would be the Steve then as the main
No,
guy?
Jason Momoa was like a random guy. Pedro Pascal is Steve.
Oh, right. Oh, is it going to be like the person gets sucked into the world of Minecraft and
I
Steve's there?
don't know. It's gonna be weird. We'll find out when it comes out.
Yeah. Okay, we'll wait for that one. We'll definitely watch that just out of sheer curiosity. But until then, moving over to probably the biggest story of the week, coming from Marvel, the Jonathan Majors trial has come to an end because he has been found guilty of multiple things, assault and harassment being the main two of his ex-partner. And so that sucks.
Yep.
We up until the thing came out, I was firmly in the boat of it doesn't seem like he did it, or it
Yeah.
didn't seem like this, or the facts were pointing for him. But a bunch more stuff has come out, some text messages and some admissions from him. Yeah. So as much as it seems like his partner was also not a good person, he definitely did assault
Also,
and
yeah.
harass them. Yeah, so
Yep.
that's not good all around. And this is a big thing because Marvel have come out and said they are cutting ties with Jonathan Majors just in every way, dropping him from everything, making Loki season 2 his last ever portrayal of the character of Kang.
Yep.
So we have no idea what they're going to do now. They've changed the title of the Kang Dynasty, the fifth Avengers movie. They're just calling it Avengers 5 now. There's no new title for that, as they're obviously going to have to rework everything, considering their main villain for the next like 10 films is no longer working for them.
Yep.
Which is awful. And it's from a storytelling perspective as well awful because everything they've had planned is going to have to change. A lot of writing is going to have to be done differently. Whether they're going to recast Kang or move on with something else, I'm curious what you think Disney and Marvel are going to do.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like there's a lot of things up in the air with Marvel at the moment and with Disney themselves as a company. Obviously, like, yeah, going back to the whole Jonathan Majors things, it would have been really cool to see like the whole Kang thing plan out and everything like that and go the way they wanted to go. But I honestly think now they're going to pivot and trying to focus on a different character. I don't see them really recasting this character that is like, it's not working. It hasn't been working in the films
Yeah.
so much
Mm.
either on what they're trying to do. And I think they've realized that too. And so they're probably going to try and pivot and focus on a new villain they're going to bring in or something like that. And here's the thing,
Do you think
because the only MCU film that's coming out next year is still Deadpool 3. And I think with
still
Deadpool
Deadpool?
3,
Yes.
things can change a lot. So,
That's true. I mean, it seems like everyone wants them to do Doctor Doom,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
leading up
yeah,
to Secret Wars. That's what everyone's hoping for. And like you said, Kang in the movies hasn't really worked. He was the best part of Ant-Man Quantumania, but that's not a high
yeah,
bar. Like, that
yeah,
movie was
yeah.
bad. Kang
Oh,
was
yeah.
the only thing that kept me watching that movie. But then him in Loki season 1 and 2 was amazing.
Yes,
So
yes.
as much as I do love this character for the most part, I am completely fine with them doing something different because we've gotten a lot of Kang already. And it
Yeah,
feels like Marvel could easily do something different. Even if they start off Avengers 5 with all of the Kangs being killed by some bigger threat or something. Like, the Kang's the big threat, and oh no, all of a sudden there's a bigger threat. That could be the way to do
yeah.
that, but I don't know. We'll
Well,
have to
that's the
see.
thing. As long as, yeah, you get some
Yeah.
competent writers and stuff like that, I would still very much,
Yeah.
hopefully, that the writers who did Loki and stuff like that, I think they could pull it off,
Well,
knowing those
I think
guys,
he's
just because
still
of how they pulled
attached
off.
to that film. I think the
Well, they
writer's still
haven't
attached.
said, yeah, they haven't
Oh,
said they've pulled him off or anything yet. So I think, yeah, it's
yeah.
going to be a major shuffle up now at Disney and MCU, which it does need, honestly, especially with a lot of films that came out this past year. Like, none of
Yeah.
them made $1 billion at all, which is strange for Disney as well.
No, but good.
Um, yeah,
Because
it's good. It's good. And
screw
because of
you
the whole
guys, but
Jonathan
also,
Majors
yeah.
thing now, there's going to be a major change up, and hopefully it's a
Yeah.
step in the right
Literally.
direction. And we'll see where things go.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Moving over to our final story this week. Um, we got an announcement of all of the Star Wars things coming out next year and into the ongoing future. Some stuff got pushed around a little bit. The only things we're getting next year are animated shows. We're getting The Bad Batch season 3, and we're getting Tales of the Jedi season 2.
Okay.
Andor is, as of now,
Been pushed
end of
back.
next year, but it might be pushed back. It's threatening being
Okay.
pushed back just because of
Because I
those
know
strikes and everything. Put it behind.
Skeleton Crew still coming out next year?
No, Skeleton Crew's the year after, I think.
Damn.
Um, so yeah, Skeleton Crew, and then Acolyte is the year after that. So
Wow.
they're doing another shuffle around, and that's mostly because of the strikes. Everything they've had planned, if they had to reshoot things and shuffle,
Well, that's
it
the thing, because
gets.
Skeleton Crew's like been filmed.
Yeah, no. So
Everything's been
and
done.
yeah, Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, and Andor has been moved into 2025. So Andor has been pushed back. Yeah, we only get the animated
Okay.
stuff next year.
Okay.
Sure. I mean, that kind of sucks. I was hoping to see Andor, or
Yeah, so was
whatever
I.
Skeleton Crew was. But I'm happy we get Bad Batch and Tales of the Jedi still because those are both good. It's the final season
It's the
of the
final
Bad
season of
Batch as
Bad
well.
Batch.
Like,
That is going to
everyone
be
is gonna
so
die.
depressing.
And I can't wait. I don't know when in the year it's coming out. I don't know if it has a month release, but I really
Okay.
want to watch it. So we'll definitely cover that, and we might even cover
Oh, yeah.
Tales of the Jedi, even though they're shorts. But we'll see how we go.
Yeah,
I
we'll
don't
see
know.
how we go.
That's a
We always talk
ways
about
off.
Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we can't help it because it's too good. All right,
Yep.
Barry. Let's move away from Star Wars, Marvel, and the news as a whole, and move over to the festive season, the holidays, the wonderful Christmas times of the world. What are you looking at? Okay.
Stuff.
Soundboard? Nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it is Christmas. Once a year, we all celebrate a tradition of this old guy coming down our chimneys and somehow randomly giving us presents, even though that's never happened to me at all. I got coal once.
What?
That was cool.
You got coal in your fireplace? That's pretty good.
I got
It's
coal.
coal's
That's pretty
expensive.
good.
You can
I
sell
know.
that. That's honestly not bad. Yeah, that's not a bad investment.
I'm making a profit
But
here.
yeah.
Gotta put into cryptocurrency.
Santa got you like Ethereum for Christmas. You'll It's not worth anything now. You lose. Chop.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
Oh, that's yeah.
But yes, when Christmas comes around every year, it seems to be that every single company, especially Netflix, love to put out Christmas films. And so we thought, being Christmas and the first year of We Talk Film, we would look back at the history of Christmas films and going through some of our favorites and just Christmas films in general, I suppose. So, where do
Yeah.
you want to begin with this, man?
Do 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 do
Do we
do do
want to like
do.
start with
Well,
a specific film or?
I feel like the best way to start is way back into the dawn of cinema. Because if you look back, a very common tradition throughout all of cinema is there's always been Christmas movies. Christmas related films have always been around and they always will be around because it
Yeah.
sure seems like they're easy to make.
Oh
Everyone and
yeah.
their uncle has made a Christmas film, even multiple Christmas films because yeah, like a lot have came out since probably the most like famous old one, something like It's a Wonderful Life or
Yep.
is probably a good place to start, stuff like that. Um, but I don't actually know what's on your list of films to talk about. So why don't you kick it off with just naming off some favorites and
Well, that's
we'll
the thing.
see
We
where we
we can
go?
kick it off with "It's a Wonderful Life." Why not? Let's
Yeah.
start at probably the famous Christmas movie of one of the most popular Christmas movies of all time, all the way back in 1946. This movie
Yes.
came out, and it's definitely one of my favorite Christmas films, if not my favorite Christmas film of all time.
It's a good film.
Um,
It is a
oh
very
yeah,
good classic movie. Um,
because yeah, that was actually on my list as like my number one pick. Because this is like the one film
oh
I
wow.
will go back and watch every single year, every single Christmas, especially more recently. And so as a kid, like I was like, oh, this is old and boring. But in more recent years now and everything like that, I'm just like, oh no, this is actually an amazing film, and it's really dark and really twisted. I'm like, I like it even
Yeah.
more.
It's got a very underlining message to it. It
Yeah,
definitely holds up well, especially if you sit down and actually watch it, you think about it, and you enjoy it because I think yeah, it's definitely much more than a Christmas film. And the best Christmas films are ones that just aren't Christmas films for the sake of being a Christmas film. Like there's more to it than
yeah.
just look, it's Christmas. Um, but yeah, I'm sure we'll talk into it. So, It's a Wonderful Life, I guess, is our number one pick. what, what are we doing?
It can be. I'm not sure what we're doing. We're improving this. But yeah, basically,
Christmas.
Christmas. Yeah, so basically the story for It's a Wonderful Life, for those who haven't seen it, is a frustrated businessman, George Bailey, becomes suicidal, and an angel from heaven, Clarence, is sent to him
That's right.
to
Yeah.
change his heart and everything like, and shows him a life if he never existed.
Yeah.
And when it actually goes through all that and everything, it shows him like this entire life of all these people he didn't interact with, like his family never happened, his
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
house that he dreamt of having with his wife and everything, all in ruin and everything like that. And everything's just bad essentially because he's helped affect so many people in his life and everything like that. And then he realizes like, oh, wait a minute, like I am like I do have importance to my life. There is a purpose and everything to it. And then
Yeah.
he wants it back and everything like that. And you'll probably see it because they make homage to it in like a lot of other Christmas movies, like later on and
Oh
stuff like
yes,
that.
definitely.
And I know in a lot of TV shows, and I think Simpsons did it like as well. Like if you have like
Yes, they
the
did.
whole lonely guy in a bar like praying to God type scene, that's where this comes from, essentially.
Yeah.
Even the Killers in their Christmas album, they actually have that sequence played before one of their songs,
That's right.
as
Yeah.
well.
So weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely probably the best like classic Christmas film considering 1946. This is straight after World War II. I feel like
Oh
that
yeah.
in and of itself is insane and it is definitely well written. And I think probably the next sort of thing after that to talk about is probably Charles Dickens' like A Christmas Story because that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
lends itself into it in a sort of way. And that has been remade every year since that book was written.
Yep.
Like and where was it, the 1800s that book was written? Something like that. Very late. Oh, can we look up when that book was written?
Yeah, I'm trying to search up
'Cause
now.
I'm actually quite curious now.
Uh,
It would be early 1900s, late 1800s, right? Something like that.
uh,
Or is it? Do 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 do
Do do do
do do
do.
do.
I know. Like,
He's
come
doing the thing.
on. 1843.
Okay, way earlier than I
Holy
thought.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah. Damn.
and
Okay.
that is probably my favorite Christmas story. Yes, pun
Yeah. Well, that's
intended.
the thing. It's been
Because
done so many times. The
yeah,
Muppets did a version of
it's been
it.
done with
Jim
The
Carrey
Muppets.
did his version
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
so good, and it's a
Basically,
great
the
story.
Grinch.
The, yeah, pretty much. I mean, even It's a Wonderful Life takes inspiration from it. You know, the whole
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
showing him meaning through yada yada magic. It's that story, but it's also really well done. And again, it's been made since the dawn of time. The Muppet version is probably the best version of it because it's really funny. Michael Caine is great in
That's
that.
right. It's got Michael Caine in it.
Yeah, Michael Caine. That's a classic movie as well.
Yep.
Muppets
Yep.
Christmas
Yep.
Carol. We went straight from It's a Wonderful Life to Muppets Christmas
But
Carol, bro.
Muppets
I
Chris
think
Carol. Why not? Why not?
that's number two. That's
That's
probably
number
number
two.
two, honestly. Out of like
Yeah.
proper Christmas movies, I think that's good. Because one thing that we're not going to talk about because they're just never good is like the Hallmark style Christmas movies.
The ones that like
Because
Netflix do, like do 10
yeah,
a year.
yeah. Oh yes, even when it's not Christmas, you get them. Those
Yeah.
ones, they're not Christmas movies. Stuff like this, like It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas Story, they are because they're also so much more. They're not just
Yeah.
crappy Christmas for the sake of it. They have something to say, and it's not just Merry Christmas. So we're kicking it off with those because they are probably the two most important stories in Christmas history, I'd probably say. Apart from the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically. Well, yeah. Well, when you think of like Christmas movies, it's mainly like those two types of
And
stories that
Die
come to
Hard.
mind. Well, it and Die Hard. Are we gonna? Do you want to start talking about Die Hard now? Are we gonna go into this great
You can
discussion?
finish what you were gonna say. Finish what you were
Yeah,
gonna
well,
say. We'll
basically,
get
you have
into it.
those two types of films. You have A Wonderful Life, and then you have like A Christmas Carol, like Scrooge and everything like that.
Yeah.
Those are the two types of films that people most associate like Christmas with. Most
Mm-hmm.
type when you think of Christmas movies and stuff like that. But like I said, there are types of films that are on Christmas, but not about Christmas. One of those being a great discussion since it first came out is obviously Die Hard. And you always see it every single year. It's on the news, it's on the online. Everyone goes on a rant about it. Is
Yeah.
Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Okay. Well, if you look at that, it depends. There's a whole grouping of movies that are included in this debate of is this a Christmas movie? Die Hard, Gremlins,
Yep.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yep.
They all take place on Christmas. People
Man
debate whether or
Returns.
not Batman Returns, whether or not they're Christmas movies. Edward Scissorhands, um,
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapon. Yeah, anything Shane Black does takes place on Christmas. That's just his thing. Um, what else? There's a whole bunch. I remember reading a list and being like, yeah, that
Die
sounds about
Hard
right.
2. The
Die
Lion
Hard.
in Winter.
Yeah. I don't anything after the first Die Hard we don't talk about anyway, so it
LA
doesn't matter.
Confidential. That's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that's true. But then it's like, are they Christmas movies, Barry? What's your stance on this, or is it a film by film thing?
It's very much like a film by film thing. Well, that's the thing. At the end of the day, I associate those films with Christmas. It's a family
Yeah.
tradition of ours to like watch Die Hard around Christmas time. We actually did watch it the other day. So,
Oh, nice.
like it's one of those things. And same thing is, I'm like a big comic book fan, especially Batman. So I will watch Batman Returns every single year for Christmas.
It is
Just because
good.
I like
It is
it.
a
It
good
is
movie.
good. And that's the thing. Even though they don't have obviously the story of Christmas about them or anything like that, it's still set during Christmas time and everything
Yeah.
like that. Another good example that is animated and it has Christmas in the name, but not necessarily about Christmas, is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Um,
more of a Halloween movie that
that's
people
more of a Halloween
group
film.
that in with a Halloween film. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough because yeah, I feel like all of them are Christmas movies in the sense of yeah, they take place at Christmas. It's a Christmas movie, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, Die Hard wouldn't have happened if it wasn't Christmas. It's a Christmas party. Like Gremlins, the whole thing is it's a Christmas
Yes.
gift.
Yeah.
Uh, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, he's stealing Christmas presents at the start of the movie. You
Yep.
know, it Christmas is in the plot of these films. It's just not the whole thing isn't Merry Christmas, yada yada. It's got again something else to say that just takes place on Christmas, which is why
Yeah.
those movies are good and why I include them in Christmas films. And we should have got someone on here who didn't think that, so we could have an argument because we both kind of
Oh yeah,
agree.
yeah. No, that would have been great. Yeah, as you could tell, we definitely did plan today's episode for everyone. But yeah, going back to the thing, that's like I do associate those films with Christmas, and especially like Gremlins and yeah, Batman Returns, Die Hard,
Yeah,
and everything like that, because they're still like it. They came out, I think, around Christmas anyway when they like first started to come
probably.
out,
Yeah, that would make
probably.
sense.
And that's the
Probably.
thing. Anytime I think of Christmas time, I do think of Gremlins and Die Hard. Probably like Die Hard's like the first thing that goes into my head. Anytime someone says Christmas, I'm like, Die Hard?
Die Hard. Yeah, I mean that makes sense because people always talk about it during Christmas. I
Yeah.
mean, it gets talked about more than Christmas movies at Christmas. I feel like that constitutes it being a Christmas movie
Oh, yeah.
even more. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Die
Yeah.
Hard, Die Hard, Die Hard. Christmas
Die
story?
Hard,
No,
Die
no,
Hard, Die
no,
Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah. And then,
It's
yeah, obviously
really
there
funny.
are a range of other films and everything like that. But I suppose we go back to actual like Christmas films.
Yeah.
Another one that's not necessarily about Christmas. I don't know if you ever seen it. Rise of the Guardians.
Oh yes.
The
Wait, is that
animated one by DreamWorks about Jack
that's the one
Frost.
with? Yeah, yeah, I remember that now. Hugh Jackman plays the Easter Bunny in it, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I remember
This
that.
is a wonderful little animated film. I like highly recommend this to like anyone watching like around
It's
Christmas
good.
time or just wants to know festive like creatures and the whole world and everything like. Whoever did this movie, I know it was DreamWorks, but whoever was like the writer for it, like he basically came up with like his own little universe about like the holiday creatures and everything like that. And what was the bad guy? Who was the bad guy in it? It wasn't Sandman. It
Um,
was like
no, Sandman was good. I'm trying to remember. It's
Pitch.
been
That's
a
right, Pitch
long
Black.
time.
It was like the darkness, and that was
Yeah,
voiced by Jude Law.
that's right.
Um,
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Rise of the Guardians.
yeah,
Yeah, I do remember it. It was really cool. Santa was like just like this
Santa
buff
was
guy
like
in it
big
or
and
something, wasn't
muscly,
it?
and he had
Yeah,
tattoos and everything like that.
that's right. It was insane. I'm looking
And
at
then
it
you had
now.
like the Tooth
2012.
Fairy. Yeah. And
That's
then that's the
right.
thing, you
Yep,
have
yep.
Jack Frost character, which this is probably like the first ever movie I saw when it first came out, a lot more about like the actual Jack Frost character.
Not Santa Claus 3?
Besides not Santa Claus 3. That's probably the only other film, which was
Oh
horrible.
god.
That was
Oh,
horrible.
awful. God
Awful.
awful.
But like this was actually like a really nice story about like the Jack Frost character, because that's the thing, you don't really associate, well, not in Australia anyway, you don't really associate Jack Frost, or it's not really talked
No.
about when you think of Christmas in Australia and stuff like that. I know more in America and everything like that. It
But
is a
even
bit more
then, he's
common.
not really talked about at all,
No,
really.
and so yeah, what was it? Director was Peter Ramsey. Was able to
Yep.
make this wonderful little film about his character, and it was actually like quite dark. Um,
Yeah. Hmm,
which was
that's right,
quite
it was.
surprising. Like the whole origin story behind it, he like sacrificed himself to save his early young sister on like a
Mhm.
ice lake, and he died and then got resurrected, and then like no one could see him for hundreds of years because no one believed in who Jack Frost was. And
That's
then he's
right. Yeah,
trying to
well,
find like his reason of existence and everything like that as to why the moon, the man on the moon, like resurrected him.
it's very funky. And if you look at Jack Frost as like a historical, mythological figure, it's 17th century, like Norse and Swedish, like folk
Yeah,
tales. The name originating from a 17th century writer in Sweden. So it's a huge. There's a lot of history there, but it's not really talked about. And I'm kind of surprised it was included in that film so much because yeah, no one knows who Jack Frost is. Like
yeah. And then like you had your
Norse figure.
villain voiced by Jude Law, which was Pitch, who is still that like Jude Law being a villain for stuff besides Captain Marvel. Like his voice, like
Eh.
he can do it. I always like seeing Jude Law
Oh
take
yeah.
on a bit more like of that evil type character, just because of his like British like voice that he's got as
Mhm.
well. Like Jude Law in
I like
anything,
seeing him
I
in
will
anything.
watch.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like seeing him in
Jude
anything.
Law's
He's
great.
good.
That's why I'm waiting for
I don't.
Skeleton Crew because he's the main guy in Skeleton Crew.
That's true. Again, still know nothing about that show.
Yeah, neither
What's
do I.
happening in that show?
It's about
Oh
a
God
skeleton crew.
knows. I
Um,
guess. And Jude
yeah,
Law's in it, so that's all we need
Jude
to know.
Law's in it. But yeah, going back
Yeah.
to the whole Jack Frost thing. Obviously, you said
Fish Mirrors.
Santa Claus 3, which was a series of films. Now they even had their own TV show on Disney
They had a
Plus now, which
TV show.
they have a TV show
That's
now.
right.
They've got like two
I heard about
seasons.
that.
Yeah, I actually on my
Oh,
list is Santa Claus, the original
the
Tim
first one.
Allen one. The first one. The first one's the only good one.
Good, good. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only good one.
And
That's
yeah, I think as a kid,
yeah.
that was like the first ever Christmas film I remember watching.
I think it's the one that I remember the best because
Yeah.
it was just on TV a bunch, or I'd seen it a
Oh
lot,
yeah.
and it
It's
was
always on
good.
TV.
The first one, it still gets played today because the first one's really good, and I've seen all three of them. They're not good. Uh, the first one though is a classic. Despite what you think about Tim Allen and his various wackiness,
Oh
he's a weird guy, but he did a really good job in this first movie, and not in a lot of other Christmas movies. What else was he? He was in like Christmas with the Cranks and stuff. He was in
yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of Christmas movies, but this was the
That's
only
the
one
only
that he
other
was
one I can
good
think
in.
of. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Excluding the other Santa Claus movies. But that's a good one because that basically the plot of that, if you haven't seen the Santa Claus, is he accidentally kills Santa. And then he becomes Santa because he puts his coat on and then he gets fat and has to shave a lot. That's the plot of that
Yeah.
movie.
And then
It's
he has
really
to save
funny.
Christmas. It is really
He
funny. That's
does.
the thing. Like, it's really like kind of a dark, like twisted start to it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh shit,
Kills
I
Santa.
accidentally killed Santa Claus." Like, damn. But even as a
And then he becomes
kid,
Santa.
I remember not being sad by that factor and everything in it
No, I
because
thought it was
obviously, like,
funny.
yeah, so
Pushed
did
him
I.
off the
Like, I
roof.
was like 5 or something when I watched this, and like obviously Santa Claus and being like that. I was just like, ha, type funny thing, and then he becomes Santa.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, even though like Santa Claus is dead, it was just like the way they did about it. I was like, you know what, this is actually really well done. And yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago. I went back and watched it with my niece and nephew, and yeah, it still holds up. It still holds up. Like
It
this
does.
movie's 30 years
Yeah.
old now, so
Oh yeah. That's true. It is old.
yep.
And yeah, I feel like it does hold. There's all of the Christmas movies that people say are good are the ones that hold up despite their age, because like everything we've listed is really old and
Oh
they
yeah,
still hold up. Can you name another Christmas film from over 40 or 50 years ago? No.
no.
Exactly. Like you really can't. Even 30. It's like, I don't know. That yeah, Santa Claus, maybe something like, I don't know, Jingle All the Way with Schwarzenegger. That's a
Scrooge
good one.
with
Scrooge with
Bill Murray.
yeah, what's his name? Bill Murray. Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I
Not his
actually
best
had
work.
no, I actually do have Jingle All the Way on my list as well.
Jingle All the Way is good. I stand by that one. That's a funny Schwarzenegger
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
He
That
'cause
is like
he
one
did a
of his
bunch of
better
those.
films. Yeah.
Yeah, he went through that phase where he was doing kind of the more kiddie comedy stuff, where it's like, ha, look,
Yeah.
big guy doing the funny role. He did like Kindergarten Cop, Jingle All
Yep.
the Way, a couple examples of that, and they're all pretty good because he's a great actor. Like he is a really
yeah.
funny comical actor as well
And
as
it's
the
just
action
funny
hero.
seeing like this big massive guy and everything
Yeah,
like that going through these scenarios
yeah,
and
Turbo Man, yeah,
Turbo, that's right, Turbo Man. Oh man, I
it's
so
Turbo
wanted that
time. Yeah,
action figure as a kid growing
they
up. I'm just like, I
definitely
want
made
Turbo
that.
Man.
They
You can
made
get
that
it.
definitely.
I've actually looked at getting them.
It's really hard to get. You have to like fight people at a shopping mall to get it.
Exactly. You have to kill like 1,000 Santa Clauses to get it.
That's right.
That's the requirement.
That movie's insane. Yeah,
It
and
is
that's another one that's
insane.
still on TV. If you look at your TV guide now, I guarantee one of these movies is on every single night for the past week. Because they're good. They hold up. Christmas movies. What else? What else you got, Barry? What else is on your list?
Also on my list that we haven't talked. I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, Unaccompanied Minors.
I can't say I'm familiar with Unaccompanied Minors, Barry.
Okay, I'll tell
Are
you about
you?
Unaccompanied Minors.
Do you you want me to call the police now or after?
Okay, so this is a movie. It is such a bad title to this movie. But what this movie is about, it is a Christmas film. These kids basically get stuck at an airport during Christmas and they have to be like taken care by this like servant guy and stuff like
Oh,
that.
so
But then basically they're like stuff this and then they go with another group of kids and they basically do shenanigans around an airport for Christmas because they're stuck at an airport for
oh,
Christmas.
so it's Home Alone 2, but he doesn't get on the plane. That's sort of
Yeah, but he's at the airport.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. I've never heard of it.
Yeah. I remember
it
watching
good?
this as a kid. I don't know if it holds up now. Like I haven't watched it in years, but this is one film I watched as a
Yeah.
kid. And I just thought it was like the best thing ever. Like
You wanted to go to an airport?
I wanted to go to an airport like these kids, and what they end up doing is getting like all the Christmas decorations and a whole bunch of like Christmas things, and they end up putting around the airport because like the manager or whatever the airport, he doesn't like Christmas and stuff like
Of
that.
course he
But these
doesn't.
kids are like, we want to celebrate Christmas type thing, and so yeah, they end up doing this all these shenanigans and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a
That's
great
really
little
funny.
like funny little kids film. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if it holds up as well as I think it does.
I have no idea.
Looking at the IMDb score, it's only at 5.
Ooh, probably not.
Yep.
For
Probably
you,
not.
it might. Probably if I watched it, I'm not sure I'd get my. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I might try it.
But
I
yeah,
don't know.
it was actually like, yeah, not a bad little film. I'm trying to think about
Okay.
the cast in it.
Kids. I don't know. Macaulay
Kids
Culkin.
that are no. Well, it came out 2006. So I would have
Oh.
been 8.
So I was 3. So it's like
Yeah.
it's not that. I thought it
No.
was older the way you were describing it. Like that's
No,
okay.
no. Yeah,
Huh.
I know it has like one of the kids is like from Bad Santa. It's got like Lewis Black in it, Rob Regal's in it, a
I don't
couple
know
of
who they
other
are.
BJ Novak. You ever watched The
I know
Office?
that name. I know that name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So
That's
yeah,
kind of funny.
nah, it's a funny little film, especially just like all the shenanigans, and then they go to like the where they obviously store all the bags at airports and stuff like that, and they
Oh,
just
yeah.
go through everything.
That's always funny to see. Little
Yeah.
movies like that. I mean, The Simpsons did that. They had an episode where like Bart and Milhouse was stuck in one of the malls. I think that was Christmas related. It might not have been, but stuff
Yeah.
like that. I mean, I'm sure they've done the airport thing as well. But that's another thing. Is do you want to talk about like TV and Christmas? Because I feel like that's even bigger
Oh,
than film with Christmas.
yeah.
Like the TV.
Well,
Because it seems like every show has a Christmas special, right?
yeah. Well, Simpsons, their first ever episode
That
was
was
a Christmas episode.
That's
And
true.
that's how you got Santa's
was.
Little Helper name and everything like that, was because of that episode.
Simpsons roasting on an open fire, and it's a good first episode. It's a hell of a pilot for a show. Well,
Oh,
not
yeah.
really a pilot, they had little segment things before, but
Little
I
segment
guess it's
thing,
the
yeah.
pilot for the show, really. Because the Simpsons probably, I don't say they kicked it off, but they definitely helmed the Christmas special since they did it, right? Every show
Yeah.
afterwards has kind of been like, well, The Simpsons does it, let's do it. Even though there were Christmas stuff prior, it's like The Simpsons kind of kicked that off because I can't really think of anything like, unless it's like a Christmas related sitcom or something from the 80s. Who knows?
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like every mainline popular show from like The Office, American Dad, Family Guy, South Park, all do Christmas specials. That's always a thing.
Yeah. South Park's first one was Christmas as well. It was Jesus versus Santa. And that was pretty funny. So yeah, I guess Christmas is really big in media. It's like bigger than you think, really, because
Yeah.
quite a lot of things that exist today exist because Christmas things exist. It's
Well, that's the thing. Another
huge.
thing I associate like with going back to TV shows and the whole Christmas thing as well. Not so much relating to Christmas, but is actually Doctor Who. Because they seem
Yes.
to do their specials and their reboots all around
do.
Christmas time as
Mhm,
well.
mhm.
Because they've recently done they've introduced the new Doctor now. Another Doctor.
Still haven't watched that special because I didn't watch
Yeah,
that
no,
season, so
it was
I will check it out.
phenomenal. I didn't
Yeah?
watch the newest season with the chick doctor. I just like watched the new special where
Whittaker?
like
Yeah.
David Tennant came in. I'm just like, yeah, David. But no, what they've done and everything like that, like Neil Patrick Harris is like the villain in this one.
Oh God, okay.
Yeah, no, it's phenomenal. And
Really?
yeah, like it was kind of cool, like
All
because
right.
obviously like David Tennant is like my favorite Doctor of all time, and like remember
Maybe
watching his one,
second.
so it was kind of cool seeing him come back as like another version of the
Yeah.
Doctor, but obviously the same.
Oh yeah.
And then obviously the old cast from when he was Doctor, obviously came back to
Yep.
do a few of their roles as well. And then how they introduced the new Doctor as well, which is kind of like a bit different to what they've done before. I'm not going to go into any spoilers or anything like that, but it's even the whole reincarnation process is this is the first time they've ever done a new way. And I was like, oh, okay,
Okay.
that's interesting. So definitely a
I
must
will
watch.
have to check it out because I am a huge Doctor Who fan, but I stopped watching at the end of Capaldi because it got really
Yeah.
bad. Like
Yeah.
once Jodie Whittaker came in, I was like, I can't sit through this show.
Yep.
This God, a similar thing happened with shows like Arrow. I was a huge fan of Arrow. I
I
watched
never watched
every
Arrow.
episode.
Never watched Arrow.
First two seasons are amazing. After that is the slow decline, and it never gets better. It is so it's a gruel to get through. But yeah, no, Doctor Who definitely started feeling like that. And they always do their Christmas specials. One of my favorites was when Matt Smith and Tennant came back for
Yeah.
that
Yep.
special
Yep.
when they were interacting together. That was amazing. And that was
They seem to
Christmas
just
related.
get David Tennant to come back for like every special. He's like, hey,
Because
I'm the
he's
Doctor.
good. Yeah. There's a reason for that. But yeah, Doctor Who has had great Christmas specials. There was one with an evil snowman that I remember as well. That was
Yes.
pretty funny.
Yes.
Was that a Capaldi one?
I think that might have been
Might
a
have
Capaldi
been.
one.
Yeah, yeah, because it had Clara in it, or it might have been End of Matt Smith, because she was a crossover companion. It was it was one of them. Anyway, we're not We Talk Doctor Who. We talk Christmas films. So,
We talk Christmas
what else
films.
have you got on your list, Bear?
Another one that is a bit more in recent years, but doesn't hold up animation wise as well as I
Oh,
remember
mm-hmm.
is
Is
a
it?
very popular one is Polar
I guess.
Express.
Yeah, I was just gonna. Yeah, as soon as you said animation not holding up, I was like, yeah, it's Polar Express.
Yeah.
It is a great story, but oh
I
boy,
saw
is it
this at
hard to look at.
cinemas. I
Oh,
saw
this was
this at
awesome as
cinemas
a kid. Wow.
as a kid. Yeah.
Because what year was this? Like,
2004.
yeah, that's insane. So I was
Um,
one. I did not see it in cinema. I
yeah.
saw it later on DVD probably.
Oh yeah,
But
no, like
it's great.
it was a good film when it came out and everything like that. And it was this whole era like of early 2000s or like mid
Mm.
2000s where one director who has done some amazing films in his life was just like, I want to test this new form of animation, mixing like
Yeah,
CGI video game mocapping and then like animating on top of it. And
so
there was
weird.
obviously a couple films. Yeah, he did Polar Express,
That's right.
Tintin is the same type of thing, and then
I
the Christmas
I
Carol
really
one.
liked
The
Tintin.
Tintin,
Tintin did it so good
that
because it was
one's the best one, and
stylized.
that still holds up a bit more.
And that was it's the
Um,
newest one as well, so that's probably why. But yeah, and then the
yeah,
Christmas Carol one was a bit because it's been
yeah,
done better with Muppets.
yep.
But yeah, Polar
I
Express
think
is
Tom
great. It's a great,
Hanks in
yeah,
Polar Express.
it's a good story. And
Yeah,
and I will say it does hold up apart from the animation. Everything except the animation holds up. So if you can look past the animation because the rest of it
yeah.
is really well, it
And
does
hey,
hold
it's
up.
still a Robert Zemeckis film, you know.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
still a good film for that part.
he he's one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. Like we can give him
Guy did Back
a
to the
break.
Future. Like, come on.
He did like the greatest movie ever made, Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Let him
yeah.
let him do Polar Express. Yeah, no, I definitely agree that that should be on a list. Yeah. What
Yeah,
else have you
yeah.
got? Throw something at me,
Uh,
Barry.
Deck the Halls with Danny
Oh,
DeVito and
yeah.
what's his name?
Um,
The, 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 the,
trying to
the.
think. Yeah. It's oh,
Matthew Broderick.
that's right. Ferris.
That's right. Ferris Bueller. Yeah, that's all I was thinking. I'm
Yeah.
just like, no, his name's not the Ferris Bueller.
His name's not Ferris Bueller. Ferris
Yeah,
Bueller,
Matthew
Bueller.
Broderick.
Yeah.
That's another Christmas film I seem to like find
Yeah,
myself watching every year, just because of like Danny DeVito. Like I
Danny
like Danny
DeVito's
DeVito
good
and
in
things.
the movie itself is kind of meh,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like I was watching it recently. I was like, yeah, no, this is not like that great, but it's like Danny DeVito in it.
Yeah,
Sure, I'll give it a crack.
that's true. And I like
And then
Matthew
I go back
Broderick,
to watching
but
Batman Returns.
all right, let's go into Batman Returns because that's something we can talk about.
Yes. All right. So
Because
going back to one of the films that is based on Christmas, but not a Christmas film, is one of the
it
best
is.
Batman films of all time is Batman Returns, starring Michael Keaton, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Danny DeVito,
Mhm.
and Christopher Walken. And oh my gosh, what a wonderful Batman
Oh,
film
it
this
is a
is. I
killer
love the
cast.
Tim Burton-esque of it. Here's the thing. Do you prefer Batman Returns more than the Batman?
No,
Okay.
I
Yeah.
like Batman better, but I
Yeah.
love the characters in Batman Returns bet more. It's
Yes.
like
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
different thing because Danny DeVito as the Penguin is the greatest casting
Perfect.
ever.
It
He
is
just
the
is the
best.
Penguin, right?
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
best iteration of the Penguin outside of probably, I don't know, the Arkham games.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think. And same with Catwoman. Michelle Pfeiffer's been the only good Catwoman we've ever got on screen.
The
And I
only,
stand
like,
by that.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah. All the
that's
other
it.
ones have not like
I stand by
been
that.
great at all. Yeah.
No, and all
She
the other
actually
ones
did like
aren't
her own
Catwoman.
whip scenes as well, and it was just like, oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Have you seen the behind the scenes clip of that where she chops the
Yeah.
mannequin's head off with the whip and everyone starts like freaking out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she's insane. And she's the only one that was really Catwoman. She definitely embodies that spirit. And Michael Keaton as Batman, he's just great. He's even better in this one now that he's kind of gotten into the role. Um
Yep.
yeah, but yeah, and it's cool. And I like the Christmas backdrop, the snow and everything. Really adds to Tim Burton's
Oh
Gotham
yeah, the
because
whole
it's
like
it's the
Christmas time
yeah,
and everything like that.
the best vibe. Tim Burton
Yes.
gave off that Batman vibe the best way since the first movie. It just made everything look awesome. And then yeah, made it everything Christmassy, which I think probably led him to doing Nightmare Before Christmas. It's kind of
Well, he didn't really do Nightmare Before Christmas.
no, but it was
But
influenced by
yeah,
the sort of
it
Tim
was
Burton
influenced
stuff.
by
So
him. Yeah.
it's probably influenced by Batman Returns, honestly. No,
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
snowy Tim Burton
Well,
Christmas.
no, how? Well, he would have. Oh yeah, because there's a two-year difference. So 1992 was Batman Returns, then 1994 was
Oh, okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas. But he was working. There was something he was working on something. That's the reason why he couldn't direct Nightmare Before
Yeah,
Christmas.
but it's still I consider it like a Burton-y film anyway because
Yeah.
it
Well,
very
the
much is.
story was done
Yeah,
by him and
yeah,
everything like that.
yeah.
And yeah, the whole like aesthetic to it all, because it's very much in the same line as like The Corpse Bride and then like Frank
Yep.
and Weenie and stuff like that.
Frankenweenie. I like Frankenweenie. I forgot that movie existed. Man, oh, we should have brought that up on a Halloween movie. Frankenweenie's
We
great.
should have. But yeah, so is Batman Returns. I absolutely love it. That is like my number one
Yeah.
watched thing on Christmas because I am a massive Batman fan.
Wow.
Yeah, the casting for that was phenomenal. And yeah.
Oh yeah.
So another
Very
like
good.
non-Christmas film, we've obviously talked about Die Hard, is
Yes.
Lethal Weapon,
That's true.
which
Yeah.
yeah, I only like just remembered that is actually around Christmas time where that story's based and stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's actually quite a like phenomenal film
Mhm.
with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Yep.
Definitely one of the ones I remember more of Mel Gibson in his heyday and everything like that.
Yeah. Before he started acting completely weird to every single person he knows.
But here's the thing, like he still has made some phenomenal films. Like he did
Yeah.
Hacksaw Ridge, man. Like the guy directed that.
I forgot that he did Hacksaw Ridge. And he's also Mad Max, so I guess he is mad.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
embodied the
exactly.
madness too much.
He's Australian, all right. He's too bad.
Weird guy. Oh my god. Have you seen the South Park parody of Mel Gibson where he just takes his clothes off whenever he can? It's like runs around naked, starts like rubbing his nipples.
Oh.
It's so every time I see Mel Gibson, I think of that South Park episode because it's just
Every
insane.
time I see Mel Gibson, he's just doing that in the streets.
But no, Lethal Weapon. Yeah, it's not my favorite. It's good, and I
Yep.
like the writer, Shane Black. I listened to a podcast where he got into the first draft of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is also another
Hmm.
Christmas movie. And that was the first movie that he directed. But prior to that, he'd written films like Lethal Weapon and a couple other ones. But
Didn't he
all of
write
his
Predator?
oh, no, I don't know. I don't think so. I think that was someone else. Hang on, let me look
I'm
it
looking
up.
it
Do
up
some
now.
googling. Shane Black. Ask what he's
I know.
written.
I know he did something.
Hmm. He's done lots, but yeah, no, those ones are the thing. But he got into it because he was talking about how most of his movies take place around Christmas, and that's just a thing that he
Oh no, he
does. Is
starred in it. He was Hawkins.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's really cool. But yeah, no, everything that he writes has something to do with Christmas. So that's why we include like Lethal Weapon, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang as Christmas films because they're set on Christmas. And he
Yeah.
got into it in such a really cool way on a podcast called Script Apart, which is a great. It goes into the first drafts of lots of films, all of the popular ones with the writers. It's
Yeah. Yep.
insanely good. But yeah, he got into first draft of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he was just saying that the way Christmas presents itself in a lot of these stories
Mhm.
provides a way for a lot of like random events to happen yet still make sense. If that makes any sense, like it's a way for a bunch of people to get together and weird things to happen, and nobody really bats an eye because the holiday season's kind of like that.
Well,
You know,
that's the
people are
thing.
kind
You
of
can
crazy.
do a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so it I guess that's probably why films like Die Hard, Gremlins, and Lethal Weapon and that exist around the Christmas time because it's a storytelling thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
reason for all of these wacky events to happen, which makes them Christmas films. We've done a big full circle. Look at that.
Wow. But yeah, also going back to Shane Black, he also has done a number of amazing films, and also one of my favorite films is The Nice Guys that he did with Russell Crowe and Ryan
That's
Gosling.
right. He did that.
And still
That
probably Ryan
was that
Gosling's best
Christmas?
performance out of any film. No,
That one
even
wasn't
though he
Christmas, no.
wrote it, he wrote
Yeah,
it well
that's
with
right.
another guy. But
No,
yeah,
that's
that was
why.
like the one thing movie that isn't Christmas
That's yeah,
of his,
insane.
but still phenomenal film, phenomenal.
What else have you got that Christmassy that we can throw out? Christmas, Christmas, Christmas.
Um, Christmas. I'm trying to think
No,
for more of your generation on what you would watch. Did
Frozen
you ever
2.
watch
My
Is that
generation. You're
Christmas?
5 years older than me, Barry. My generation. This guy.
um, what else have we got?
You're losing it, old man.
I'm losing it, old man.
You get your glasses. Can you read your list?
I can't even read my list.
Er,
Trading Places is also another Christmas film.
oh, that's right. That's the one where they swap. It's Eddie Murphy and what's his name? Dan Aykroyd, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that one's alright. I don't remember what happens in it, but I remember it being alright.
They swap places, and then like Eddie
Yeah,
Murphy becomes really
but like
rich, and then
apart from that,
Dan Aykroyd becomes really poor.
yeah.
That's all I remember.
That sounds about right. That's
Yep.
pretty much what happened after that movie too. Is Eddie Murphy got really rich from everything he's done. Dan Aykroyd got really poor since Ghostbusters, and now he's like a weird conspiracy theory guy.
That sells vodka in crystal skulls.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd's
uh,
crazy. I love Dan Aykroyd.
he
He's
is
an
crazy.
insane dude. He's insane. He's really
He is
fun.
insane.
Yeah.
Another movie that I'm thinking of, also around Christmas, that actually is like a Christmas film, is I don't know if it's called Mixed Nuts with Steve Martin.
No, I
It's
haven't seen it.
a 1994 like comedy film. Obviously, this is when Steve Martin was doing stuff. Where basically like a whole bunch of people come over to his house for Christmas, like friends and family and stuff like that. I think it's actually one of the first films, or might have actually been Adam Sandler's first film that he starred in.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Because Adam Sandler's obviously career was started in the 90s and everything like that. But he is like super young in this.
Hmm.
I'm just going through like the list of like
Yeah.
films now.
That's
But
that's
because he
insane.
didn't play like a prominent role in it,
He
but
was just
like
kind of
he
in
was
it.
it was just kind of like there in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
right.
definitely one of his earlier roles. He did like
For
Airheads
sure.
the same year and stuff like that. But yeah, he was just like kind
Was
of there.
Yeah, so that film was kind of just his
And then
forte into the
the
industry.
year after, yeah, he did Billy Madison, which then obviously set
Yep.
him on a career.
Then he was
Because yeah, it's
huge
Billy Madison.
instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because Billy
so that's
Madison is
cool.
what made his career. But yeah, it was like one of
Oh,
those
yeah,
films.
for sure.
I remember watching it like because I already knew who Adam Sandler was, like watching Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and everything like that. Then like a few years
Yeah,
later,
yeah,
I watched
for
this
sure.
because my parents really like Steve Martin films and everything like that. And it was always like Christmas time,
Yeah.
and I was
He's
like,
surprisingly funny.
wait a minute, yeah, like it's got Adam Sandler in it, and yeah, Steve Martin actually being quite good. It's also got like Liev Schreiber was in it as well. Apparently, I was like, what? Okay, I can't remember his character, but sure.
Hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Have you got anything else on your list, Barry, or should we think about maybe wrapping it up?
We could wrap it up, I think. I feel like that is it on our Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah, there is a limited of what
Quimmers.
you can talk about and everything, like because a lot of the movies, like we said, they basically do follow the same type of story. One
Christmas,
Christmas
sure.
film I do want to watch this Christmas though is actually
Aquaman
is it
2?
Klaus? No, Klaus. I think it's like a
yeah,
Netflix
the
animated
animated
film.
one.
Yeah, because apparently
People
that was
say it's good.
animated using Blender.
Wouldn't surprise me. People say that it's really good.
Yeah.
It's a cool little story.
So I'm gonna
Haven't
give that a
seen it.
try this Christmas and everything like that.
Huh.
And yeah, let us know down in the comments or wherever what your favorite
Yeah.
Christmas film is. And
Tell us why it's mean. Tell us why it's Mean Girls, and we will get back to you on
is
that.
Mean Girls a Christmas movie?
They had that. Part of it takes place at Christmas. They have that whole Christmas thing where
Okay.
they sing along to the song. I think.
I can't remember Mean Girls if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I made that joke, and now I'm not sure if that's true. Maybe I just I was like,
It's
yeah.
wait a
Tell
minute.
us, tell us why your
You're, like,
favorite Christmas
gaslighting
movie is
yourself.
Star Trek 3. It's like
Star Trek
I don't
3,
know.
yeah.
I
Tell us
guess it's a
why
Christmas movie. Think of it. It's the
it's
Star Wars Holiday
Friday
Special.
the 13th. Oh yeah, Star Wars Holiday Special. Absolutely
13th.
amazing.
Friday the
Beautiful. Best-
25th.
Friday the 25th. Wait a minute, it's Monday.
It'll be a
but yes,
Friday
I think
eventually.
That is going to be it for today.
Christmas, yeah, Christmas.
That is Christmas, everyone. Thank you for being here. We will catch you
Happy
all
Hanukkah.
on the New Year's special of We Talk Film. Hope to see you there. Big episode coming. See you next time.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Goodbye.
Yubbity
Happy
doobity.
holidays. All that jazz.
Like and subscribe. How long does this go for? It's gonna be Christmas by the time we finish.